Welcome, everybody, to Deeper in History. I'm your host, Jason. Welcome, everyone. In today's video, I want to go over the Constitution and how it pertains to the nationwide lockdown. The question I believe everyone should be asking themselves is, does the federal and local government have the constitutional power to enforce the restrictions they have imposed? I believe that the answers can easily be found in the First Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, and the 14th Amendment. Before I get started, I want everybody to understand that I am not a lawyer, but I do believe that when the Constitution was written, the Founding Fathers did not believe that later generations should have to interpret what they was meaning to say. I believe that it was simply written for the simple people to understand their rights. Now let's start off with the First Amendment. In part, it states people have a right to assemble peacefully. In the 1883 book entitled Exposition of the Constitution of the United States, Albert Wright explains that any number of people may come together in any sort of societies, religious, social, or political, or even in treasonous conspiracies. In a 1937 Supreme Court ruling from DeHaan v. Oregon, Chief Justice Charles Evan Hughes stated, "The right to assemble, free speech, and press are all equally fundamental rights." In 1984, Roberts v. United States J.C.'s Justice William J. Brennan said that intimate association is a fundamental element of personal liberty. I believe the one thing these all have in common is that assembly is seen by the court system as a right to gather for any reason. Now let's look at the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment, among other things, protects people of life, liberty, and property. I understand that the amendment is focusing mostly on the legal system, but it seems so clear to me that if life, liberty, and property cannot be denied without due process, how can any of them be taken away in an emergency? I believe that a business being forced to close by a government is a violation of all three: life, liberty, and property. In a 1923 Supreme Court ruling in Meyer v. Nebraska, the court stated that liberty is not merely freedom from bodily restraint, but also the right of an individual to engage in any of the common occupations of life. When the government tells its citizens that some businesses are not allowed to be open, or that assembling in public must be restricted, is that not a clear violation of personal liberties? I believe so. I'm going to move on to the Fourth Amendment now. In Section 1 of the 14th Amendment, it states that the state cannot deny equal protection of the law. I would make the argument by telling bar owners, and other businesses that they are not essential and therefore cannot be open. This is a blatant, unequal protection of the law. Assuming these businesses pay taxes and, and have taken all of the required steps to legally run their business, how then can anyone claim that they are being protected by the law? The Federal Reserves print money and then give it to the business owners almost as a bribery for them to play the game. The business owners, I personally know, doesn't want paid to stay at home. They want to open their business doors and go back to work. Besides, they understand exactly what a stimulus check will do to the economy. And lastly, I want to point out a recent ruling in Pennsylvania by Judge William Strickman IV. He ruled that the lockdown in Pennsylvania is an overreaching and arbitrary and violated citizens' constitutional rights. Strickland cited a few Supreme Court rulings in his decision, and if you follow the links in the description below, you can find the actual court transcripts from all of the rulings that I've spoke about in this video. I have cited all of my sources, and I encourage you all to do your own research, and hopefully the link I left will be a good starting point for all of you. Alright, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you liked the video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you have any questions or comments about the video, feel free to leave a comment below. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you soon.